Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Casey and I love talking about smelling good, fragrances and smelling good and fragrances. Now if you're new here, I have recently done a 65 fragrance sample haul where I gave my first impressions, and now I'm giving each fragrance a little bit more time under the limelight and talk about what I love, what I hate, and how it's aged. Now, the fragrance we're going to be talking about in this video is Teriaq Intense. This is a fragrance that has honestly roared through the grapevines after its sister Teriaq took the wheel, and understandably so. Now this is one of those fragrances that people are saying it's almost a blend or a take on Lattafa's Camera, and you know that whole DNA, which is like Kisesava, Royal Blend Nero, and almost leaning towards the likes of Angel Share and the Angel Share-esque fragrances. Now, I originally came here and I said that I did not really see a purpose of having this fragrance in my collection when I love Camera. Camera has been in my collection for years, ever since it came out, and it's a very beloved fragrance in my collection. Now, I originally said I wasn't willing to try any of the Lattafa Camera takes like Dukan or Kawa, and I also wasn't willing to smell any of the Royal Vintage fragrances like Royal Blend Nero, Royal Blend Vintage, Royal Blend Bourbon, all of those. But you guys will be happy to know I do have a sample haul that's coming in of all those fragrances, so I will be giving a deeper dive on whether it actually has made me change my mind on Camera or not. Now back to how I feel about Teriaq Intense. Now, even though a lot of people do say it smells quite close to Camera, I also like to say it's almost like a bang in the middle fragrance blend of what is it? Belle? Who did that fragrance? I cannot think who did that fragrance. Oh my god, how is the name absolutely escaping me? Sorry, just give me a second to find. It smells like Belle. Yeah, maybe I'll put a picture. Maybe that's the easiest thing to do. I'll put a picture of Belle. But to me, it smells like that mixture of Belle and Camera to an extent. Let's talk about the notes and then we'll start to actually decode what this fragrance starts to look like. So you have some saffron and some bergamot in the opening, and then you have some plum liquor and some cinnamon, and then you have some amber and some tonka bean and benzoin. Now, you do immediately smell that saffron when it comes on, and then you have some bergamot paired with the plum liquor, which gives it this fruity, light, and fresh take. Normally, when you see plum liquor or if you see citruses mixed with the fruit, they normally indicate a fresher, more sour take on that fragrance note. So for example, an apple with some citrus can sometimes smell like a Grammy apple. Is that what they call it? Or you know, those cooking green apples. It could sometimes smell like that. So that's kind of what they're giving with the plum. It's almost like a fresh baby, almost ripe but not completely ripe and sweet kind of type of plum with the liquor. And then you have some cinnamon. Now, even though people compare this to Camera, the cinnamon is in no way as strong as it is in Camera. What it lacks in connection with Camera is that apple opening, that super fruity take and sweet take in the fruity vibe, and all the other spices that Camera has. This only has some plum and some cinnamon, and that's what you get. And then in the base you have some amber, some tonka bean, and some benzoin. The amber is definitely there, the tonka bean is definitely there, and I believe that's actually what's I feel like that's what is reminiscent of Belle. I am actually going to try and pull up Belle here and see if we can. I think it's Jean-Paul Gaultier Belle. La Belle. Yes, we're talking about the original, which is not the Intense. So it does have some bergamot. This one ends up having a little bit more leather and floral notes, which I see, and vetiver, but I do feel like it does have the pear part of that fragrance, the bergamot part of that fragrance, and the vanilla part of that fragrance. It's almost, I would say, as if it is split down the middle, Belle and Camera, and then you have this 25% where it's its own unique DNA. Now, even though before I did say that I felt like it was redundant to have alongside Camera, I do still feel like that, especially because I have Teriaq Intense. I definitely feel like for people who love the Jean Paul Gaultier versions of the original, I definitely feel like if you love those fragrances, but you're looking for something a little bit more different, that a lot more people might not have smelled like. If you're just looking for a good twist, I definitely feel like Teriaq Intense and Teriaq are really good substitutes for that. They really take on the original DNAs and they make it their own in their own beautiful way without having to compromise on quality, compromise on longevity. They're beautiful. These fragrances could easily be designer as well. So you really are not really losing anything at all. This fragrance definitely does lean to me to be a little bit more feminine, just because it smells like it has this like caramel vibe to it. Even though there is no caramel lined up in it, it really does smell kind of syrupy and sweet. And so I don't really see a lot of men feeling confident in that. Though some men, if you really love your angel share and sweet and floral fragrances, I definitely feel like maybe you could lean towards this, no problem. It is just up to personal taste at the end of the day. And so yeah, I would say that. I definitely feel like this fragrance is not for the winter time. It's not for spring, and definitely you could get cloying even in hot weather. So I would be a little bit hesitant in trying to wear it at those times of the year. But other than that, I definitely do see someone feeling confident, feeling beautiful wearing this. I definitely also see this not being particularly friendly to, you know, under 20-year-olds, just because it's way too syrupy and a little bit too harsh. And it does really, I do feel like to some extent this fragrance could potentially wear you if you don't feel confident in it. I definitely feel like it projects, it lasts really fucking long. Quentin Beach knew what he was doing. Quentin Beach knew what he was doing when he did this fragrance. So, and so yeah, it's definitely a love in my collection, but I don't see me buying this with how much I love Kamarakawa. Not Kamarakawa, Latafa Camera. I do feel like I could potentially end up loving I did want to buy Kisasawa, but apparently it's been discontinued. But I do see potentially myself buying Royal Blend Nero once Camera is finished. But I can only update you guys once I have smelt all 4 of the new fragrances that are coming in. Now, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe so you can get a notification. Don't forget to click the bell so you can get a notification when those fragrance reviews have come in. But if you are already followed, please, I want to thank you for following the journey, for always leaving your comments and engaging. And again, I ask you to leave your comments if you've smelled this fragrance before. Do you feel like it dethrones any fragrances that you already have in your collection? Do you feel like it's redundant with Camera, or am I just a little bit picky when it comes to that DNA? And do you enjoy wearing this? Do you feel like it's unisex? Do you feel like it's masculine? Or do you feel like anybody and everybody can wear it? There's really no age. I definitely feel like this fragrance does come down to comfort and who you are, but I just feel like some people who don't like smelling desserty or syrupy might really struggle with this fragrance and find it way too toothacheingly sweet. Until next time, bye!